Hello Virgo, welcome. This is a general reading for the month of November. So this is a general reading for all Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So I like to keep the reading open for the universe to provide whatever message it is that is predominant for this month. So let's see what the universe has in store for each and every one of you Virgos for the greatest and highest good for this month of November. Dear universe, grateful, thankful for the messages that you provide, the greatest and highest good for our Virgos for this month of November. Today is Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. It's one of my favorite days out of the whole year. So grateful, thankful for being able to do these readings on this day. Yeah, being able to tap in a little bit of ancestral energy. We all can on a day like today. So, dear universe, what messages do you have for our Virgos? All right. So let's see if there's anything they want to jump out before we set the cards down. So I'm going to do a spread called the Flying Bird. I think it's a great marker to see how you are and how you start November and how you pull out. So you're not feeling that confident right now, Virgo. So let's see what this is all about. Ooh, it has to do with your Empress. All right, Virgo, are you ready for this reading? All right, what we have on the bottom of the deck. Oh, my goodness. All right, Virgo, you are married to somebody who is really difficult. I feel like this is a very, very difficult, toxic union. Now, what I see with this Devil as your overall energy, it's like this is a very lustful type of union. So what I pick up with this union, and I keep saying union because of this Four of Wands over here and this Queen of Pentacles. The two of you, I definitely pick up a married couple. And you guys have this real sexual type of energy. You know, here with this Devil, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like you can't keep your hands off of you. But it's almost a mask. It's really not the truth of your relationship. The truth of your relationship is that there's a lot of instability here, you know, with this Hanged Man reversed. I mean, you've been hanging in suspension because the relationship emotionally, somebody is very detached or unstable. So I feel like you come out here as like the Fool reversed and your person is the Empress reversed. I mean, there's no pleasing her. And I say her because there's this Queen of Pentacles. Maybe you are dealing with a Capricorn or another Earth sign. But it's been very, very difficult, you know, because it doesn't matter what you do or say. There's nothing that's going to turn her from looking the other way, you know. So I feel like emotionally there's a real detachment between you and them. Then we have the Seven of Wands reversed. So I feel like there's this energy of being really trapped, not knowing what to do in this relationship. You might have children with this person. But I feel like there's almost like a situation happens because there's this need for this whole emotional dysfunction to come to an end. I mean, I don't know how better to say that, you know, because here with this Hanged Man reverse, it's like, you're dealing with somebody who is emotionally very disconnected. And perhaps maybe the two of you are like that because, look, neither one of you are looking at each other. But that's because you can't even handle your emotions. It's almost like you're fine when it comes to sex and that part of the relationship. But when it comes to, like, the real deal, you guys aren't so good. You know, so it's just been a matter of time before somebody makes a decision. You know, it's like, I want to go off on my own, you know, and put an end to this once and for all. So I feel like this emotional issue between you and your person really comes to a head in this month of November. Because you haven't been feeling good. And it's like, you feel like you've made such a mistake with this person. you know, like, and it's like you made, you know, it was like the wrong decision, because I feel like you got with this person because you were so physically attracted. I mean, there's a lot of chemistry between the two of you, you know, but that's all you have is the chemistry between you sexually, you know. So emotionally there's this detachment that's just not happening, and it's almost like you've been doing this dance with them and it just hasn't worked. So let's get a little more clarity on this for our Virgos. Now remember, the message is for whoever needs to hear it. This is not for everyone here. So we'd like to get some clarity, dear universe, on this spread regarding this Virgo. So you may be dealing with somebody. You might have some Aries, some Pisces in your chart. Water sign, some water energy. So that's a beautiful card to come out, the 10. So I feel like there's this need to want to fix this. It's like, yes, you could go off and be on your own, but you don't really want to end this relationship. And I think it's because of this physical chemistry that you have. But this toxic behavior of this disconnect of this emotion, it's like, that's just not working. You know, so that could be the end all, because there's also, how long do you hang in there? So I see a turnaround happening for you by the end of November regarding this whole emotional distress. See, things come out, and there could be other people involved, Virgo, because out comes this King of Swords. And I feel like this is your energy, you know, because we have this King of Cups. I mean, there's two kings here, so maybe we're dealing with two men. So this could be an issue at work that comes out, and this could be a whole other storyline, but I don't think so. So I feel like this King of Swords is like, you know, there's no pleasing this King of Swords either. So if we have an Empress who is being really difficult, and then you come out and you're being really difficult, you know, that's just not going to work. And I feel like something comes to light, like an external force. Maybe you have a child, maybe you have, you know, when I say a child, I mean somebody, you know, in their teens, 13-ish, 14, 15, you know, they say something, you know, that the two of you need to hear that could turn everything around. So pay attention to your children at this time, because they might be a key factor to ending a lot of conflict. You know, it's like out of the mouth of babes, Virgo, you know what I mean by that? It's like, so all of a sudden, you know, they point out some glaring truth that the two of you have not been able to see, because you guys aren't on the same page. You're not looking at each other. You know, the only time you guys look at each other is when you're having sex. And your kids are like done with it. You know, so I feel like you are in a position of advantage, but it's like you're up against a lot of variables, we'll say. You know, but I think you're able to pull out whatever it is that you need. You need to look into what you know, before you just move on. And, you know, I almost get the feeling of, you know, you make a decision and you act on it and then you regret it later. So you don't want to do that. You want to just kind of, you know, be really smart, you know, and just remember what you've learned through this relationship with this person, you know, because that's your key to moving on. You've been really wounded in this relationship. Yes, it shows, you know, because again, there's this disconnect, this emotional disconnect, you know, and you need to find out whether or not, you know, you really want to salvage this. Because I think there's this uncertainty, because there's a part of you that really wants to move away and move on from this relationship. You know, and maybe that's down the road. So, out of the mouth of babes, Virgo, I think somebody's got a message that you need to hear that will help resolve some of your inner conflict that you're dealing with regarding all of this. Because I am picking that up. And I think it's affecting, you know, like, what sign did I just do? I just feel like it's affecting your external life. You know, it's like you can't keep it suppressed anymore. Your emotions are like all over the place regarding this person. So I think an ending is in order. Yeah, see, it's very internal. Like, you can't make any moves until you really are sure about what you want to do, because you're sitting on the fence about putting an end to this relationship. All right, so let's see what the Osho has to say for you, Virgo. Dear Osho, what messages do you have of advice for our Virgos for this month of November? So I get the sense that you're very angry. Don't be angry. That doesn't help, you know, because I think it just leaves you, you're in a position of advantage where I think you're starting to see clearer and you're starting to open up to what really happens. Because like I say, you get some kind of a message, something like clicks, snaps, you know, your kid, somebody says something, I mean, and all of a sudden things turn around. But this inner conflict of whether you should stay or go needs to be put out on the table. Because you two are bonded somehow, some way. But you've always got your eye on the fact. It's like the two of you are always ready to leave each other. It's that kind of energy you two have. You know, you get into a fight, I'm gone. It's exhausting. Look at that. I mean, it's exhausting, Virgo. Exhausting. And I think you're tired of it. You've been wounded enough. So I see you coming to an end. So there was 3 9s on the table. 999. You know, so you're at that point where you need to make a decision. And I think by the end of November, you know, you will decide what to do. I mean, there is a lot of disharmony between the two of you. Somebody's being very controlling. So, oof. Oh my gosh, look at that. These are very dark and heavy cards, Virgo. And it's almost like there's an issue of money. I mean, that's another thing. But there's a lot of disharmony. You're really exhausted. Look, you're feeling really trapped. And there's somebody who's, you know, really, really jealous. I mean, you're kept in the dark. Everything's out of control. And it's almost like even you, Virgo, don't have control of the finances. That's pretty heavy. Yeah, so see, you're skating on thin ice. You have no patience. And see, I feel like you need to be very careful in your steps and how you move. You know, but I see someone wanting to really break free. But you're really trapped right now. You're feeling really trapped. And I think, you know, it's like this, I think you thought was going to be a dream come true, and it's turned into a nightmare. A nightmare. All right. Anything else for our Virgos? One last card, maybe a nice positive card. Yeah, so here, this is feeling unstable. This is also equivalent to the 9, and again, another 9. So you're at that point where things have to come to an end, because you need to end this instability. Because when something is right, it is overripe, it's rotten fruit. You know, so I feel like some of you feel like you've gotten together with somebody and it's turned into rotten fruit. Boy, that's a message, isn't it? All right, Virgo, I'm going to end it here. See, you just, yeah, I'm going to end it here because it's not getting any better here. So I feel like you really need to assess this whole relationship you're involved with, you know, and the energies that surround it and why you really are with this person, so that you can make a real concrete decision. So tune in. Next week I will be doing love in the full moon. So let's see if this energy comes up again, and we might get a little more clarity after the energies of this week have passed us by. So take care of yourself this month, Virgo, because I think it could be a big one for you. So until the next reading, blessed be. Bye now.